Another day, another vlog. In today, we've got a Mark 7R. It's actually up on the inspection ramp. All vehicles that we tune, we give it a free diagnostics, full health check, internal, external too. We can't take apart the engine, obviously, but we do check as much as we can, especially on these. We check the inlet pipe off so that we can see if there's any sort of shaft play on the IS38 turbo. We have covered it in so many videos. IS38 turbos are absolute shit. Also today we've got the Cupra 300 behind us, NVM stage 3. In the last video you've probably seen we stuck on some NVF03 lightweight forged aluminium wheels, but the car's back in with us today in preparation for our next Santa Pod event. So we're fitting Meth injection. So the reason for Meth on this is for consistency. We're not going to map it Meth dependent, but this car ran 454 brake horsepower, 620 Newton meters when we tuned it on 99 RON fuel only. So the reason for the Meth is to keep everything cool and consistent. This car's going to Santa Pod, so we want the quickest quarter mile times. The problem with any quarter mile event is when you're stuck in traffic, when you're in the queue, the car just heats up, all the components heat soak, and it causes issues with the actual quarter mile times itself. So we've gone for a Snow Performance kit, which is the Snow Performance VC50, which is an electronic controller for the Meth injection kit, and we've got the BMS solenoid and Meth tank to go in too. Once it's all on, we'll put it on the dyno, we'll add the Meth with a 10 nozzle and see how it performs and see if it is actually helping with intake temperatures and reducing any sort of knock once we get some temperature in there. So looking at that dyno pool, looks like this ain't standard. I mean, this car was in with us a couple of weeks ago and we upgraded the clutch because the 6-speed manuals can't handle stock power, let alone anymore. Customer went away, bedded it in, so we didn't even dyno test it back then, but now we put it on the dyno. It's ran 340 brake horsepower, 460 Newton meters of torque. Looking at the turbochargers, boosting 1.5 bar of boost, which is a soft stage one, to be honest with you, but lo and behold, the customer didn't know it was tuned, neither did we. But yeah, we'll put it back to standard and then start our stage one calibration. No two cars are the same, and like I said, the customer had no idea this car was tuned, but it's probably why the clutch failed on them, because the stock clutch can't handle anything more than stock power. So we always advise on a 6-speed manual to upgrade the clutch. So that one's got a Sachs paddle clutch, which is rated to about 650 Newton meters, so it should handle our stage one easily. So completely stock run, it ran 303 brake horsepower and just under 410 Newton meters of torque, which is about right for what they are. There was time and pull as standard, but just there on our base stage one, which is a 1.6 bar of boost, we've hit 350 brake horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque. Nice boost taper as well. The ECU on these are very complex, so they can allow for boost to be tapered by torque as such, and it allows for a good smooth transition without causing too much stress on components. No hardware modifications apart from an intake on this, so we'll carry on and see if there's any sort of timing pull before we add more boost. Oh! I have no idea what's wrong with this. For some reason, boost control, top end above 5,500 RPM is all over the place. I've tried to close the wastegate as much as it can on the actuator, but IS38. So Meth injection has been installed, so solenoids here running to a line to the boot to a gallon tank. The Meth controller itself, the Snow Performance gauge, is in a custom vent holder, so it's right by the driver's steering wheel, so if it needs adjusting, it can be done there. It can be turned on and off, and we can set the boost, the Meth to come in at a certain boost level and turn off at a certain boost level as well. A nice, clean, tidy install. Still keep it quite practical. I mean, the rear seat bench can still be used and folded down without causing any issues. So yeah, as soon as we're done with that, we'll get this on the dyno. So final results for this Mark 7R 6-speed manual, just an intake, stock intercooler, stock exhaust system, 358 brake horsepower, 547 newton meters of torque. In comparison to the car, when it came in with the tune, that ran 340 brake and 470 newton meters of torque. But I'll overlay the graph for you guys to see exactly what we've gained. So this is the difference between a custom NVM Stage 1 remap and an off-the-shelf. In what I presume was the off-the-shelf, because it was only target 1.4 to 1.5 bar of boost. But you can see there the delta gain, almost 100 newton meters at 2,500 RPM. And that torque carries on all the way to 5,000 RPM. If you have a look at the power graph as well, we've gained about 40 brake horsepower delta before the peak power. So even though the peak power is only 15 to 20 horsepower difference to when it came in, it's actually gained 30 to 40 horsepower throughout the rev range.
Oh my God! Wow!
So this car will drive completely different, but I'll overlay it over the original software now for you guys to see the difference in a Stage 1 and a stock Golf R. So you can see the stock ECU software there, which is the faint red line and the faint white line, stock power, stock torque, nice and smooth. Yes, there's a few undulations at the top end, and that's purely down to the turbocharger and its ability to control boost on stock ECU. And this is our Stage 1. You can see the huge delta gain from start of the run right to the end. We do increase the red line slightly, but beyond kind of 6,800 RPM, it's not making any more power. So yeah, that's our NVM Stage 1, 2 litre TSI, Cupra, Golf R, S3, etc. So the Golf R is coming off now, time to get the Cupra on. We've filled it up with 100% Meth. So this ain't a Meth dependent tune on this vehicle, so we're going to see how much knock reduction and intake temperature reduction we can get from this on the same settings. So I want to interrupt this video to thank our sponsor today, NV Motorsport, for our giveaway. So we've got an NVM goodie box, which is a NVM keyring, pen and torch. All you got to do is comment below #TeamNVM, and we will put you in a raffle and announce the winner on the next vlog. Every week we're going to give away something, different merch, different products, different software, etc. So make sure you guys stay focused and comment below. So again, we tuned this car a couple of months ago and it's still performing as it would, but as soon as it gets some heat in there, we've got intake temperatures rising up to about 35 degrees. This has got front mount intercooler on there, but when you go Stage 3, the actual intake temperatures do kind of rise as well, back to back. So we'll turn on the Meth now, figure out where we're going to turn it on, how much spray we're going to do, and then take it from there. So this is why we love Meth.
You got one part of that wrong. This is not meth.
eventually, as the car runs on the dyno, a couple of runs, after a few runs, it does start to heat soak. Intake temperatures get up to about 40 degrees. With the Meth on, we're seeing no more than 25 degrees, and it's about 19 degrees in the cell, so that's doing its job well. We've set it to come on at 1.4 bar of boost and full spray at 1.6 bar of boost, so it doesn't mess with the torque taper too much. If you have a look at the graph, you can see where the benefits are. Anything above 4,500 RPM is literally where it's spraying, and that's reducing ignition knock, detonation, and also allowing lower intake temperatures and a slight increase in boost pressure from the expanded air particles. But overall, about 5 to 6 brake horsepower from 5.5 to 7,000 RPM, and it's repeatable back to back. On them 2 runs, it was exactly the same, and that's what you get with Meth, a nice consistent setup permanently. We could add another 20 to 25 horsepower by making it Meth dependent, but the customer didn't want it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that NVM daily vlog. People are asking for updates on the G80 M3. We've got some brand new products coming for it. I'll show you a sneak peek. So don't forget to subscribe, guys, and click on the bell icon for all the latest notifications of our vlogs. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay tuned. So I'm going to interrupt this video to give you a... No, man, you've got my head, bro. I had it on shot, bro.